Good morning, Chair Ginsler, Dave Lauer, and the subreddit Superstonk. I'm just a random Redditor, but I have a few questions. Why did Instinet get $50 billion in excess capital premium charge waivers for 2 years prior to the January 28, 2021 buy freeze? Instinet received so many DTCC waivers that it became Instinet's predictable cost of doing business. Doesn't this partially contradict the excuses heard about unpredictability and unpredictable volatility the day of the buy freeze? On January 28, 2021, Instinet had the highest excess capital premium waiver, over $3.3 billion compared to Robinhood's $2.3 billion. Therefore, of the 6 firms defaulting that day, yes, there were 6, which also weren't covered, January 28, 2021. Why did the SEC and Congress choose to focus on Robinhood, the second highest defaulting company, and ignored the first? Not to mention the other 4, which I've already talked about. What we did find about Robinhood was that they were not connected to a lit exchange for like 8 years. How were they allowed to function under the SEC's eyes for 8 years? Moreover, if Robinhood was not connected to a lit exchange during the buy freeze, which didn't just last one day, it was throttled for another week after that. Robinhood throttled buys for another week after that. I forgot what I was saying. The hell was I saying? The throttled buying. If they weren't connected to a lit exchange, then they were at the mercy of market makers for execution. So they literally could not execute a trade. Now, you have a market maker that is, we know, you know, everyone knows, had a huge stake in a company called Melvin that had a short position on these particular stocks. They influxed $2.7 billion of capitalizing Melvin, Point72, and Citadel. So it wasn't in their interest to execute trades for Robinhood that day. So wouldn't not buying order flow constitute a limiting of those particular stocks, especially when you see the relationship that they had prior due to their 606 documents? And if we want to go back to the 606 documents and Instinet routes almost, the majority of Apex Clearing's trades. So we're at this juncture here. The subreddit is pissed. I'm pissed. I've been screaming about this for 2 years. I went on Jon Stewart's show last night. I didn't go on it, but I was calling for 2 hours straight trying to get the answer, the question out there. But I can't do it. So, in all respect, and I personally, Gary, I don't really think you're for us, not just because of you not doing anything for 2 years, but also because you were fundamental in the repeal of Glass-Steagall, which I really think caused the 2008 financial crisis and too big to fail. And I'm not alone there. But this is a hyper, I say this with all due respect. I'm not that kind of guy, but we do have some questions, and we do have some real issues with the SEC and trust issues. So when you come on talking about these 4 best execution rules, and then you tiptoe around PFOF again, which we all want banned. Everybody wants banned. It doesn't make sense to give a broker and a market maker 2 cuts of the execution. Yes, I know we'll have to start paying fees and stuff like that, but that's more clairvoyant than, not clairvoyant, transparent than making money off of the execution. We know that it's not it's not best execution, it's better execution. And is it better in the long run if they're taking the other side of the trades and they're internalizing? Listen, I've said my piece, and I'll move on. But yeah, we want some answers to those questions. Yeah, obviously, I'm not asking anyone right now. I'm just talking to the void. But so obviously these would be better written if I was actually able to talk to Gary Gensler. But that's what I would have asked.